Hello, can everyone hear me well? Okay, thank you for joining the workshop about Lego. So firstly, I would like to ask for those who haven't registered in our link, please do so. Bong Lisa will drop the registration link in the Zoom chat.
យើងតម្រូវអានឹងចាប់ឲ្យគាត់រៀនគាត់ធ្វើតាមទាំងអស់ចឹងទៅពេលខ្លះវាអត់មានគាត់បែរនៅក្នុងការរៀនទេប៉ុន្តែនៅពេលដែលគេអនុវត្តដោយគាត់រៀនមិញហ្នឹងគឺមានភាពបត់បែនជាច្រើនដែលអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យគ្រូឯងមានភាពច្នៃប្រឌិតប៉ុន្តែធ្វើយ៉ាងណាឲ្យវាអាឡាញជាមួយនឹងគោលការណ៍ណែនាំរបស់ជាតិ
Can I also please ask all the participants to rename yourself, full name and school? Okay, without further ado, let's start the workshop. So my name is Solita. I will be helping in the workshop today. So this workshop is to introduce people to Lego robotics. You don't need prior experiences or knowledge about Lego at all. So this is for from the very basic of Lego. Okay, so we have our speaker here with us, Mr. Henry. He will be the instructor of this workshop. He's also a teacher as well at Paragon International School. And he is also the IT programmer at that school. Okay. So we also have future workshops. We will introduce more about Arduino and about artificial intelligence, stuff like that. So I'll give the stage to Mr. Henry, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Solita, for your nice introduction. Oh, I see a class full of students. That's great. Should we start now, or as we said, we start in 2 minutes?
We can wait 2 minutes and then start at 4:10.
All right. Okay. During this time, you can let me know in the chat if you can hear me well. Or if you have any issue with that or with the camera, I guess it's okay. We can hear you well, great. And how about students who are in a classroom? Are the speakers good enough? Can you all hear me? Maybe the teacher can write a message to make sure everyone can hear. Okay, yeah, I see one yes, so that's great. We can hear you well, great, great. Okay, so I will start in 1 minute to make sure everyone had time to arrive. Okay, I guess it's exactly time, so we can start right now. Oh, I might have to leave soon. Okay. That's all right. Okay. Okay. This morning I checked who will be attending today, and I saw that many of you were not high school students. I saw university students and others. So before we start, I want to make sure I know who I'm talking to. Can you write in the chat your age or the age of the students in the class? So I have some ideas, and I will try to adapt to the different ages. So that's it. You can just spam in the chat. I can have a clear idea on who is watching right now. For students following on YouTube, I cannot see the chat because I think it's blocked. So I will assume that you are of similar ages. Okay, primary 3, we are 10 to 12. Just me, my students will see it later. Okay. Okay, so maybe not so many university students. It might be better because you will see it's a really basic introduction to Lego robotics. They have other classes now. Okay. We can replay, or you can replay this video later. It's all recorded, but they cannot interact in the chat. But at least they can have the video. Grade 4 to high school. Okay, we have a large panel. Okay, that's all right. Today, I think you can continue using the chat like this. I saw the rule while we were waiting that you should not use the chat while teacher is talking. You can use the chat. You can ask questions. You can discuss with each other. Okay, a bit like live streaming. We had many online lessons during COVID, so now we can do a kind of live streaming. You can discuss together. I will check the chat to see if I see some relevant questions, but you can also discuss with each other, okay? All right, so I think you can all see my screen. Today, the goal, so you know you cannot learn programming in 1 hour, programming plus building robots. So the goal today, I assume that you don't have Legos in front of you right now. So I did not prepare activity for today. But at the end of the session, I will give you some kind of activities that you can try to do for next week. Okay, and next week we will have a look together on what you did. Okay, I believe it's the best way to learn is to practice, right? Especially for robotics. But for this workshop, I will try to introduce different things that you need to know in order to start, and then you will have enough. I hope you will have enough keys to be able to start your first Lego robot. Okay, so goals: understand the very basics of Lego robotics, and I will try today to give you some tips that I wrote down. It might or might not be useful. Okay, you can ask questions at any time, take notes, no problem. So today we will talk about the electronic parts of Legos, okay, the motors, the controller, the sensors, etc. We will talk about the software, okay, how do we program on the Lego controller, okay? And then other Lego parts and some tips for designing robots. Okay? About the software, you can see. The software will depend on which controller you are using. So it will your teacher will help you to find the correct software. Here in my school, we are using the EV3 robot. So we use EV3 Classroom. Okay, that's the software that we decided to use. I will post this link in the chat. So you can visit it later. Okay, this link is all the softwares for the different Lego robots. So the new Lego robot is Spike. They have different versions: Spike Essential, Spike Prime, Legacy. You can try. They are all free. By the way, even if you don't have the Lego robot yet, I mean the physical part, you can already download the software and code program. So it can be a good training maybe for some students. Even if they don't have the Lego parts yet, they can already write some code, okay? Or different group of students can share the same robot because you can upload different programs on the same robot. That might be interesting. If you use EV3 like me, you have to click on retired products because Lego is not selling EV3 anymore. It starts to be a bit old. You can find it, you can buy it online, but not on official Lego website. And the software is still free. Okay, so I'm using EV3 Classroom. Some of you might be using NXT, which is also a retired product, but it's authorized. Both of them are authorized for the WRO competition. So no need to buy the new one if you don't have it. Okay, they are all authorized. Okay, that was about the software. We can go back. Okay, let's have a look at the electronics parts. I hope you can see well. Okay, the students in the classroom, I hope you can read at least what is bold. So this is the controller in the middle. This one is EV3 controller. The other ones might be slightly different, but it's really similar. And we have different types of motor. In the basic set, you will have 2 large motors and 1 medium motor. Okay, so this different type of motor. Okay, so the computer will have to send data, okay, using these black cables. Okay, send information to make the motors rotate. It means turn clockwise or counterclockwise in one way or the other way. And then we have some sensors. I will present you the different sensors today. And you might need to use some of them for the activities that I will give you at the end. Okay? So we have touch sensors, gyro sensor, color, and ultrasonic sensor. I will explain how they work and what is their purpose. About the computer itself. So I call it the computer. We can call it the controller. It will be the device that contains your program. You will create the program on your laptop, or some of you might be using tablets. It's also possible, or PC. You create the program here, and you will have to upload it on your Lego computer. But after you upload it, the Lego computer will run by itself. It contains a battery. You have to charge your robot. But it contains a battery, it contains a storage that can store the program. Okay? There is a screen and you can use the buttons to play one or another program. Okay? You can navigate through the menu to select the program. You can also get some information about it. You can upload the code using a cable, using Bluetooth. Okay, both of them are possible. Even the day of the event, you can use the way you want. And on this on this controller, sorry, we have the inputs and the outputs. So you might know in and out. We can send information in the controller. That means from the outside, from the real world, into the computer. These are the inputs. And then we have the outputs, okay, that are used to send information from the controller to the outside output. And this will be mostly the motors. Not only the motors, but for your WRO competition, it will be the motors, I guess. What are the other things that can be sent? Which information can be sent from this controller to the outside? It can be what you display on the screen. You can write text on the screen, which is not necessary for the competition. And you can also play sound. This controller got speakers inside, so you can play sound. It's not needed for the competition as well, but it can help you when you create your robot to test your code. You can put a instruction, play your sound if something wrong happened, for example. So that's for the outputs. About the motors themselves, I give you some more information. I said we have large motors and medium motors. They look like that. Okay, this and that. It might be surprising that the largest motor got a lower max speed. Okay, the medium motor is actually faster. But you might know, or you will study later, that the speed is not the only thing when we talk about motors. Something else that is important is let's say the force. How strong is the motor? Okay, and a large motor is a bit stronger. So even if it cannot go so fast, it can move heavier objects. Okay, so for the movement, most of the time you will use the large motor. But it's not mandatory. You can decide to use the medium motor. Okay. Usually we use the medium motor. You see it's a bit smaller. So we use it for when we need to be more precise in the structure. Sometimes you don't have enough space to put a large one, so you put a medium one. And these motors are not perfect. Okay. They have an error of 1 degree. So for example, if you put a turn right by 90 degrees, it will be not exactly 90 degrees, sometime 89, sometime 91 degrees, okay? It's not a big deal, but sometimes if you see your robot is not going exactly where you want, it might be the reason. Your code might be good, but there is a small 1 degree error. Again, feel free to ask questions or to discuss in the chat if you have any question. I don't see any question for the moment, so I will move on to the inputs. How can we input information from the real world to into the controller? Okay, from the real world into the controller. A robot cannot take decision, move in different direction if it doesn't know what is happening around. So we need sensors to get data from the real world. Okay. So maybe the easiest one is the touch sensor, the one that you see here. If you can see my camera, something like that. I show you the back of the sensor. They all have this plug to connect the cable. Like that. Oops. And then you will connect the other side of the cable. Let me show you here. Okay. You might be able to see 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the ports. The ports mean like the doors to go in or out. So Port 1, port 2, port 3, and port 4, they are for the input, only the input. The output cannot connect on these ones. The output are on the other side. A, B, C, and D for the output, for the motors, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for the inputs. Let's go back. So the touch sensor is a sensor that will, I think you understood, it will detect if something or someone is pressing the sensor. Okay, pressing here. Pressing or releasing, it can also detect if it's being released. Okay, so you can use it inside your program. If someone pressed this button, we can do this or that. Okay, I will show you a first example on my camera. It's one of my students. He's in grade 7. He was asked to. It was his first lesson. He had only the instruction to build a robot that can move forward, backward, and turn right and left. So I hope you can see. So he put 2 motors and then 2 touch sensors, like this. So 2 touch sensors, and then he programmed the fact that if we press one, let's say the left touch sensor, it will turn left. If we press the right one, it will turn right. If we press both of them, it will move forward. And when we release, when we are not pressing, it will just stop moving. Okay. So it's an example, something that can be done. I will show you the code in order to do that. You will see it's not so hard. That's for the touch sensor. We have the color sensor. The color sensor will be really useful for the competition. I mean, robo mission, if you want to do it, because you will see on the ground, your robot will be on something called a game field. It's a kind of field that contains different areas, and each area got a different color. So to know where it is, the robot will have to check the color on the ground. Okay, and you will write in your program, if the color is green, that means the robot is in that area, so it should do this or that. If the ground color is blue, something else. So you will need the color sensor to get information about the ground and maybe about other things. Okay. The color sensor is a bit smarter than this. It can also measure the light of the room, for example, and the reflected light. Okay. But I believe you will mostly use it as a color sensor. Okay. Before we continue, I will show you how we can use that in the software. Then we will spend a bit more time on the software only, but maybe it's time to see how it works. Just one example. So here, this is an event. This block represents an event when the program starts. So this event is happening only one time when you will click on start. And then everything that you will put below, for example, this instruction, when the program starts, this is the motor A, that means the motor connected to the output A, will turn clockwise in one direction for one rotation, okay? So your motor will make a whole cycle, a full cycle. Okay? You can change that. You can say for 90 degrees. And if you have your motor on the B output, you can put B motor will run clockwise for 90 degrees. So when the program will start, this instruction will be played, and that's it. It's already the end of our program. Now I can show you an example with the color sensor. For that, we can go to events. Instead of using when program start, we can use another type of event. When my color sensor, let's say number 1, the one connected to the input 1, when it detects a red color, then we move the motor B clockwise for 90 degrees. Okay, so you can use something like that on the game field. If you detect the red color, that means you are in one area, and then you will know, oh, in that case, I will put, let's say, 45 degree only. Okay, you will prepare your robot in that way. Okay, so here I'm combining one instruction, an event that will be triggered, that will be played when one sensor is detecting something, okay, the red color. And when that event is triggered, we do one instruction. We can have more. We can say, we move the motor, we write a text on a screen, and then we play a beep sound for 0.2 seconds. Okay, so here I have a list of instruction, a sequence of instruction. They will all play one by one, but only when this event is triggered. Okay, if I click on start, the program will start, nothing happens. As long as this is not detecting red, nothing will happen. But at the moment this will detect red, it will trigger the different instructions. Okay, so you will probably have to use events with the different sensors. If you use a touch sensor, okay, if this sensor is being pressed, then it means I want to turn, let's say, turn left. So I will start the motor clockwise, for example, or counterclockwise. Okay, we have events for every single sensor. Okay. The next sensor, this one, it is, as you can see, it's able to measure a distance. We start to have many things on the screen. I will stop there. Okay. No, exactly. Events does not need to connect to the start program block. Or let's say it's not the only way. We could do that. I will show you an example where we are not using events, but we are using an if condition. Okay, when I will click on start, I will use this. This is called a loop. And this loop, you see forever, it will repeat everything that I put inside forever. Forever means until we stop the program. Okay, and inside this one, I can use let's say this, the if condition. Okay, when the program starts, forever, I will check if something is happening. So if I want to keep my example, I will put the sensor. Like that. Okay, I am doing the similar thing. I have only one event when the program starts, and then I repeat something forever. Forever, my touch sensor is checking if it is being checked or not. And when it's checked, it will play this. Okay, and then it will repeat again. Okay, so as you can see, it will do something very similar. But it might be more convenient to use different events to manage different situations. If you know all the situations that can happen, it might be easier to have one event per situation, okay, or to combine some different sensors to one situation. Otherwise, you will have many ifs in your main loop. Okay, let's go back to the sensor. Okay, I was talking about the ultrasonic sensor. It is, you can see, it contains, let's zoom a bit. It's a kind of speaker or microphone, right? You have one microphone and one speaker. The microphone is, the speaker, sorry, is playing a sound or ultrasound, so we cannot hear it. And the ultrasound will hit, it will move and hit the first object. And when it hit the object, it will come back and the microphone will listen, will hear or record that ultrasound. The sound needs some time to travel and we know the speed of sound. So if we can measure the time needed, we will be able to find the distance. So don't worry, this is all programmed already in the sensor. So you just connect this sensor to your controller and it will give you the distance between this part and the first object that is in front. So you can use that, for example, if you want to detect if there is something in front of you. Okay. Is my ultrasound sensor number 4 detecting something that is at less than 15 centimeters? You can change that, let's say 10 centimeter, or you can put, okay, let's say when there is nothing in front closer than 10 centimeter, we can still move forward, for example. Okay. Okay, so we saw the touch sensor. You might not use it for the competition because you cannot touch your robot during the game. So you cannot touch the button. Okay? It can be useful during your training when you want to learn the sensor, but during the competition, you cannot use the touch sensor. Or except if you use it to touch another object on the game, but you cannot press the button by yourself. So we have color and ultrasonic sensor. Sometimes we say distance sensor because it measures the distance. And finally, the gyro sensor. Gyro sensor, you might want to use it. It's able to measure angles. I'll show you on my camera. It's something like that. And if your robot is moving like this, the gyro sensor will send the data to the controller that it was, it just rotated by 90 degrees, for example. Okay. You might need it. I'm not sure that you really need it. Up to you. This is what they put in the smartphone. You know, the smartphone is able to rotate the screen when we do this because inside there is a gyro sensor that is able to detect if it was moved by 90 degrees. Okay, so it's the same sensor. Okay, what time is it? 4:35. Okay, I think we spent a lot of time on the important parts, or the most important. I added something about the other parts that are also used in robotic. The gears. Let's zoom a bit on this one. You can use gears to make things rotate slower or faster. Okay, you can control the speed, not only with the program, you can say in the program, my motor spin at 50% of the max speed, you can say that. But you can also use gears to face different situations, to solve different problems. Okay, if you have two gears of the same time, of the same size that are connected, they will turn at the same speed, right? But they will spin in different direction. If this one is moving like that, like a clock, the other one will move like this. Okay, like a clock means clockwise, and like this, counterclockwise. You remember about the motors in the program? Clockwise means like a clock, counterclockwise, the other way. Okay, so even if they have the same size, same speed, but opposite direction. Now, if they have different size, you might need some time to control the speed in that way. So if you have a gear that is, this one got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this one got 8 teeth, right? 8. The big one got 40. So 5 times more. You can remember that. If it got 5 times more teeth, it will be 5 times slower. Okay, the relation is direct. Okay, so I give you the formula for those who like to use formulas. Don't worry, it's not necessary. You can make your test one by one until it works. But this is the formula. The number of teeth of the gear number 1 multiplied by the speed of the gear is always equal to the number of teeth of the gear number 2 multiplied by the speed of the gear number, always. Okay, so for example, 5 times bigger for the teeth, it will be 5 times slower for the speed. Okay. You can find this formula online if you didn't have time to write it down. Another purpose of the gears can be something like that. Sometimes you might need to change the axis of rotation, because you might not have enough space for your robot to do everything you want. So you see, with this very small system, you can have this axis spinning like that, converted with this to an axis spinning like this. Okay? I recorded some video to show you examples. If we have time, I will show you at the end. Oh, these are also mandatory parts for your robot, I guess. I'm pretty sure it will have to move, so you will probably use wheels. You might prefer to use thread links. It's up to you. You can make some tests for both. Another question is, if you use wheels, do you want small wheels or big wheels? Again, it's up to you, but it will have different, let's say, consequences. Okay. So if I give you an example, if you have bigger wheels, for the same motor speed, the bigger wheels will move your robot faster, right? Smaller speed will move your robot slowly, but the smaller wheels might be more precise, okay? Because the 1 degree error of the motor will not have the same results on small wheels and big wheels in terms of distance. Okay, but you will make some tests by yourself and you will see the results. Okay, so you will decide later. Do we have any questions? I let you. Can I get the video after fishing this season? Probably the season will. Oh, finishing. Okay, I get it. Yes, I believe the video will be available until the next workshop for 2024 competition, hopefully. Yes, if you have to leave early, it's not a problem. Okay. Okay, we have some time, so I will show you the example of videos that I recorded. I will use my other screen, so I have to stop sharing. Okay. Okay, I recorded some video. The first one I can show you. Okay, it's the connection that I did show you on the program. When we touch the button, the sensor, the touch sensor will move, we rotate the motor. So that will be something like that. Okay, when I touch, it will rotate the motor. Okay, and when I stop pressing, it will press again. It will stop exactly when I release. How did I program this? I just said when the touch sensor is being pressed, I start the motor. That's the first event. And second event, when the motor stops being pressed, we stop. When the sensor stops being pressed, we stop the motor. Okay. I think this one is the same. I just changed the number of rotation. Oops, sorry. Here I program something different. There is no release. I just said when it's being pressed, it will do 3 rotation. And you see, even after I stop pressing, it will finish the 3 rotation. Okay? If you want to make the motor stop at the moment you remove the finger, you will need another event when the touch sensor is being released. Otherwise, it will finish the instruction that was started. Okay, what else can I show you? Okay, I had example. When you use gears, you can use gears if you have to move 2 wheels exactly in the same direction and at the same speed. You can do something like that. It's just an example to give you some ideas. You don't have to learn this. It's only example to show you that you can be creative to create your own solution. Okay, so that one, I use this to synchronize, so they are always at the same angle. Okay, 1 gear in the middle, I will use the motor to move it, and 1 on each side that is moving a small gear on each side, so they will have the same speed and the same orientation, the same rotation. Okay, and you will see when I connect the motor. Also, I combine big gears and small gears. The size is 5 times smaller, so it will move 5 times faster. Okay, so you will see it will move quite quick. And when I stop pressing, it's always stop because it is synchronized, right? What else can we check? The one I was explaining about the 90-degree. Okay, you can have something like that. Connect your motor there. If you don't have enough space to put a whole motor in one direction, you can put it in another direction and then use this to have the axis in the correct direction. Okay. All right. And then we have this gearbox. You might have seen people driving cars and moving something, right? The gearbox that was very used before the automatic gears box, when we had manual gearbox. So I tried to rebuild something like that just by moving this plastic part in the middle, that one. I will change the connection between the gears. Okay, so you will see in the video. The speed of the motor is always the same, but the speed of the output here will change depending on the position of my lever here. You see, I connect same size and then I connect big and small. So that speed will go from slow to fast. Okay, same size connection, and when I move, different size connection. Okay, just to give you some ideas, this is what you have inside cars and some models of bike, but it works a bit differently. But in cars, it's quite similar. The idea is similar. Okay, so that was to show you examples of gears that you might need. Another one that I found in the robotic room today. It's not made by me. I don't know who made this one. I hope you can see well. They used, you cannot see so well. They combined some gears and one medium motor here. And when the motor spins like that, it will open. Let me show you. It's hard to move it without a real robot. Okay, as you can see, it is opening, right? And closing. Okay. I think they made this one to grab objects, and you might need not this one, but something a bit like that. If your robot needs to grab objects during the competition, the WRO Robo mission, it is often something like this, grabbing objects somewhere and moving them somewhere else. So you might need this similar design or similar ideas, or completely different, but to solve the problem of grabbing something and moving it somewhere. I see this video. I combine many gears together. I am reducing the speed by 5, but 4 times. So I will divide by 5, and then by 5, and then by 5, and then by 5. That means 625. Okay. So the motor will, you see my hand, it's moving at normal speed, but it's almost not spinning. What is the goal of something like that? Why would you want to go extremely slow? You will probably not want to go so slow for the robo mission. But if you remember the 1 degree error of the motor, if this is wrong by 1 degree, this one will be wrong by much less, 5 times less, right? And this one 5 times less, and this one 5 times less. So in the end, you can be extremely precise just by reducing the speed. Okay, you can gain in terms of accuracy. So that is an example that you might not need for your mission, but it's another idea. However, the accuracy will not be perfect because gears also have an accuracy problem. So you fix the problem of the motor accuracy, but you have the problem of the gear accuracy. Okay, I think I do it with the motor. You see the motor is moving fast, and this one 625 times slower. So too slow, but really precise. You have similar things on the clock watch or clocks. Okay? To manage the hours, the seconds, the minutes at different speeds, we use this kind of gear. Okay, so I just wanted to share these videos to give you some ideas. If you don't have the Legos with you right now, at least you can see example of things we can do with gears. And in the videos, it was all about Lego, but it will work with every other system. Okay, sometimes the Lego parts might be a bit expensive, but you can find other type of things that can be purchased for cheaper price. So if you are interested, but it's a bit hard to purchase the whole Lego system, you need Lego for the robo mission, but you will see they will STEM will explain you, STEM Cambodia will explain you the other events, maybe Future Innovator. This one you don't need Lego, it can be other, maybe cheaper systems. Okay, I'm checking the chat. Okay, it's 4:50. Oops. Sorry, leaving. Okay, that's all right. So maybe too late. Okay, no problem. Okay, I will stop sharing. How do I stop? Okay, I will go back to my other screen. Okay, if you don't have questions, I will just continue. The last part is, okay, we are almost done. The last part is more some kind of advice that I wrote down. It might help you or might not. How can you design when you will start the robo mission? How can you start the design of the robot? You have different ways in order to do that, different methods or approach. Here, what you see on my screen, this one, it is maybe for university students who already know a bit about programming and who are able to understand the problem, design a solution, code the solution, program it, and also build the Lego structure. And then they will make some tests, and if they see it's not working because of some bugs, they will update the code again and again until it works. And if the design is too bad, they will just change the design. Okay? This is maybe the best solution. This is what is one of the solutions presented in engineering school. However, for you, if you are really new to robotic, it might be impossible to design something without knowing what you can program or build. So I propose you another way of thinking. When you will see the rules of the game, I think you should write down all the function, all the things that you have to solve, all the small problem that you have to solve. Okay, one way of solving big problems that like robo mission, it's a big problem, it's a bit hard to solve it. So my tip is to divide this big problem into many small problems. Okay, for example, what should be done? What should the robot be able to do? Move in one direction, move in another direction, move objects. That means also grab objects, resist to a pressure. These are just examples. But if you can solve all these small problems one by one, it might help you to finally have a global final solution. Okay, so divide the big problem into small problem. If you work with some teammate, you can even have different members of the team to work on different part of the big problem. Okay, and what is it about? Problem solving. School problems is different than real life problems. Yes. You know, at school, the problems that you face, most of the problems that you face at school are a clear problem. Everything is explained, and also there is often one solution. And when you find the solution, you know it's correct. But in engineering and also a bit in this robo mission, the problem that you will face will not be completely clear for you because they have many rules. The problem is not completely clear, and some real life problems have many solutions. So you will find one and you will not be sure if it's the best or not, so you can improve a bit. And some real life problems have no solution at all. So you will work hard and you will never find a solution until you realize the problem is wrong. It's not possible to solve it. So don't worry if something like that happens. Don't worry if you are not sure that you have the best design or something like that. Okay, because you are new to programming and new to building robots, I assume. So try to do something that is working, okay, something that is good enough, something that is able to solve at least one or two problems, even if it cannot do the whole game. And then you will improve. You will improve step by step. It will take some time and work, but in the end, you will be able to solve the whole problem, right? The whole game. So it is called try and error. Okay, try and error and learn from your error to improve the design, improve the program, etc. Yeah, let's. What can I show you about the program? I think I did show you enough about the software. I don't want to show too much about this software. I remind you that the software is free, so you can try to see how it works, explore a bit if you have a computer or a tablet or a laptop. And then when you will have the Lego robot, you will be able to test it. Okay. Do you have any question? Would you like to ask questions? We still have some time. We can finish before the end if we are done with everything, but we can take some time to share questions, to share ideas. If you have question about the WRO event, you can also ask here. I will try to answer. Or STEM Cambodia can also help you to find answers. Okay, take your time to ask questions. Students in the classroom, you can ask your teacher to ask questions also if you want. I let you some time, and then we will, if there is no question, we will conclude the meeting. I just remember some of you might be watching on YouTube. I'm sorry, I'm not there, and I believe you don't have the chat, so I cannot answer your questions if you have. But you can go to Telegram groups to ask your questions there. You will have people who will answer. By the way, right now I will very quickly show you some links. This first link is first link. This one is, why is it not? Okay, that first thing is the official rules of the competition. So let's find it. Okay, this is this website. You arrive here, you scroll down, you have the rules of the robo mission. So you need to read I mean, that might be more for the teachers who are here. You need to check the general rules. They are the same for all the events. And then you have the rules of the game. Okay, here the rule of the event, here the rule of the game. What the robot should be able to do. May I can, yes, but did you miss something specific that I can repeat? Because I'm almost done. I can slow down, but do you have a question, something that was not clear? I can repeat if you want. I will slow down starting from now. Yes, sure. But if you want to ask something that was not clear, you can ask. Feel free to ask. On the website that I just shared, you can find the main rules of the event. For example, what is authorized, what is forbidden, etc. Here, the game rules, it is more what the robot need to do to win the game or to get some score. Okay, what is the mission? Here, the game field that I can show you here. Okay, it's just one image that will be used to print the game field. Okay, so the robot will be on that field and the robot will have to move around to solve problems. Okay, you see different boats, different ships. They will have some objects on it and the robot will have to follow the line, detect if there is an object, grab it, move it somewhere, etc. Okay, so you remember I talked about the color sensor that will be useful to detect the different color, to know where it is. Okay, and you will need to move around, etc. I let you read the game rules to understand what needs to be done. Check the game field to see where will be the robot. And here they give you instruction to build the field. Some extra Legos are needed to create the field. Okay. In terms of general rules, again, this is a bit more for the teachers. We have many information. There is something that you might ask. I saw some questions about that on Telegram. The equipment. What do we need to yes? Let's find it. Oh, it's hard to see. I will zoom a bit. Yes, the game elements. We have two parts. One part is the robot element, to build a robot. For that one, every Lego part, every single Lego part is authorized. Okay? And then the different type of robot, EV3, Spike, NTX, they are all authorized, okay, to build a robot. This page, it's to build the game element. We need two WRO brick set. This one and expansion, this one. Okay, so STEM Cambodia will have its own for the competition, but in order to prepare, you might need one as well. This one is the one from the previous years. So you might, if you participated or if your students participated, they might already have it. Okay, this one. So in that case, you all need to buy the new one. Okay? That's it. And I repeat for the, let's scroll up. For the robot, any controller of this list, how to buy this set EV3. EV3, yeah, the problem of EV3, NXT and EV3, they are not sold on the LEGO official website anymore. They retire the product because they want to sell the new one, Spike. I believe that it can be found online. I checked today, it was on Amazon and on some other website. It is one solution. Buy EV3 on another website, third party. Yeah. But LEGO removed this EV3. Same for NXT. Today, LEGO on the official website, they are selling Spike only. They are promoting their new product. But the other ones are still authorized, okay? The motors that work with these controllers, the sensors that work with these controllers, plus this one. Battery is part of the set when you purchase the robot. And building material, any LEGO part, okay? Any LEGO part. I'm just thinking right now. Maybe we can discuss this on Telegram. We can have use the teacher group for schools who need to buy some parts. Maybe we can ask STEM Cambodia to organize a kind of group purchase if we need exactly the same things. I'm thinking about the game field, and maybe some game set. Maybe we can discuss on Telegram if we can purchase it together. It might be more simple in terms of logistics. Let's discuss this later. Okay, the rules are a bit boring, so I will close this page. Do we have any other question? If not, I just show you quickly, for those who already have the LEGO, I show you very quickly example of activities that you can do for next time, if you want to come next time. Next time, I will not talk so much. Today, I'm talking since 1 hour. For next time, my idea is that if you have access to LEGO robots, you can try to solve some, I prepared some basic problem, okay? And this is real life problem. That means it's not very clear, and there is not only one solution. There might be many solutions, okay? So the goal is to play with LEGO and try to solve this problem in the way you want. Okay, so first one, just build the LEGO structure, the robot structure. No need to program anything. Okay, I just want to see the robot itself connected to 2 motors, and then 3 or 4 wheels connected to the robot, including 2 wheels connected to the motor. And then the last wheel or the last 2 wheels are free to move the way they want. Okay, first challenge, just play with LEGO to build something like that. Second one, about coding, use the LEGO that you just built in the first challenge, and try to program it in that way. So you see, I use this programming vocabulary. While nothing is in front of the robot, move forward. If something is in front of the robot, turn left until nothing is in front of the robot. Okay, so the way it's phrased is a bit weird, but I want to show you the different type of keyword. While, if, until, these are programming vocabulary. Nothing is in front, something is in front. This is distance sensor that will be able to detect that. If we have something very close or far enough, we can adapt. And then move forward, turn left. This will be related to the motor. Okay? You will see there is no turn left for one motor. So you have to decide clockwise, counterclockwise, etc. Okay? I will share the slide if you want in the chat just after. Last one, you are even more free. You saw on the game field a black line that is connecting the different parts. So that could be the last challenge for those who are a bit more confident after this first session. Design, build, and program a robot that is able to detect and follow a black line on the ground. Okay, one black line on the ground and one robot that can detect it, maybe color sensor, and follow it, move the same way, okay? Follow the black line. This is a bit more difficult if you have no experience, but some of you may try if you have enough time next week, okay? And my idea is that next week or before the workshop, you can take some video and then we can have a look together to discuss the different solution. Okay, that is only one idea. I will show you the slide if you want. And then we will stop. I will let Ms. Solita conclude the meeting if she's still here. We have to talk about Genesis, which is an organization that will give you more detailed and more precise lessons if you want. It will not be online, I believe, so it might be more appropriate if you can meet them. Maybe STEM people can share the link in the chat of Genesis organization. And for me, I will share the link of the slide. For those who can make the activity. Okay, you have the links for the slides. For those on YouTube, you can ask in the Telegram chat if you have any question about this. Okay, that's it for me. We finished a bit early, but we didn't have many questions. So I will let Ms. Solita conclude if she's here, I hope.
Yes, Mr. Henry, I'm here.
Yes.
So thank you for the very insightful workshop. I myself also learned a lot from this session. So I hope all the students here learn a lot as well. And even after this workshop, you can also access to the recorded session for this workshop through our Facebook page or YouTube page as well. Yeah, and before we end this workshop, let's take a group photo together. I would ask all the participants to open their cameras so we can take a group photo together. Okay, I see Glowing International School. Very excited. Okay, people are opening their cameras. Wow, some are even in their car. Join this workshop. Thank you, thank you. My apologies, I can't open my camera because my laptop doesn't have a webcam. And I forgot to take one from home, so I might have to miss this one. But others that can open their cameras, please do so. Okay, just a few people left. Okay, everyone ready? Bong Lisa? Bong Nore. Okay. Okay, thank you for the group photo, everyone. I hope you had a great time listening to Mr. Henry sharing about Lego, and I'm sure you'll be excited to meet him in the next session. Okay, is there anything you want to add on, Bong Lisa, Bong Norea, Mr. Henry?
Oh, thank you everyone for joining this workshop. Thank you for paying attention. Next time I will try to speak slower, but I repeat, next time I will not speak that much. So for those who can, don't forget to try these activities. It's okay if you cannot finish it. We will discuss what were the issues. Okay. And that's it. Thank you again for attending this workshop. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you.